When I was 7 years old, my parents separated and eventually got divorced, and that created a real wound in my heart, a real divided kind of identity within me. My dad living in one place, my mom in another. You know, and there's such silence around this. As a kid, you don't think you're allowed to talk about it. People tell you, oh, that's good, we're happy for your parents, you know? And so as an adult, continuing to suffer some of those wounds in my identity and knowing who I am, I found great healing in being on retreat and coming to know that Christ loves me and cares for me and wants to love me in my woundedness.
I co-founded Life Giving Wounds Ministry with my wife in 2015. We just started doing simple retreats, but I'm an adult child of divorce, and something that I just felt I needed for my own healing, and that I wish I would have had 10 to 15 years earlier, because I felt very alone in my suffering. I remember very distinctly my mom having a group to go to at the diocese for divorcees, but there was nothing for me.
I've been doing marriage and family life since 2009. Until the last couple years, I had not really thought about the effects of divorce. I mean, I've been doing pro-life stuff for 20 years, and yeah, abortion, well, you're ending a life, it's pretty obvious. If you're killing the life of this marriage in a divorce.
Children of divorced parents always distrust joy. Like, we're always distrusting that this good thing will be taken away from us.
I think as a child of divorced parents, but growing up Catholic, there's some things that we have to reconcile, but we're not exactly sure how. Maybe we haven't been given the tools, or maybe we haven't had the proper counsel or the proper direction to be able to do that, and really the permission. So I think that's actually one of the many beautiful things about Life Giving Wounds, is it not only creates an environment to be able to reconcile that, but permission and actual affirmation that this is something that occurred, that is difficult, but in order to experience healing, we have to bring those wounds to the light.
I must admit that I originally had reservations. I started off defensive and closed. From that to, now saying that every Catholic adult child of divorce, every Catholic couple that even has a remote idea that they should want to be divorced should attend this retreat.
I think that coming to the Life Giving Wounds retreat, knowing that it was Catholic, was really important to me, because I've gone to therapists before who weren't Catholic and tried to tease out some of this stuff, and I just felt like something was always missing. I felt like I could only go so far. So coming here, it was really important to me that I was having that spiritual aspect, that I was having adoration, that I was having the sacrament of confession and the Holy Mass, because all of our wounds are healed through Christ. He was wounded so that we could then identify ourselves in him and through him.
The Life Giving Wounds retreat was an amazing experience. For me, the main grace was realizing that I wasn't alone. I wasn't the only one. So to be in a room full of people who had experienced divorce, separation, was an amazing grace, because it's one of those things that I've always carried by myself.
There has certainly been an emotional release, and it feels really nice. Yeah, it feels really nice. And I know there's like work ahead to do, but I feel empowered.
It almost feels like I'm empowered, emboldened, or even being tasked to say, you need to speak about this. That there is a program like Life Giving Wounds that you can go through, ask for healing, go into those wounds in a safe, supportive, spiritual environment.
Instead of like resigning, like, oh, nothing's ever gonna change, it's more like accepting it and using that wound to like kind of help others and let Christ in there.
The Archdiocese, we are always looking for ways to deeply impact people's life, and this retreat is one of the ways that we're able to do that.
The church has a lot to offer to children of divorce, and this is a beautiful response from the Holy Spirit to that need.